I wanted to share the song Eanga, written by my mom, to emphasize how important stories have been throughout my life. The most influential stories have always been the ones told to me by my parents and grandparents. They often shared their life experiences or the experiences of our ancestors with me. When I look, reflect, and remember my ancestors and their journeys through life, I am amazed at their resilience, their faith, their loyalty, and their love. There most definitely are stories of tragedy, of discouragement, of fear, of hardship, of trials, of defeat, and of loss. However, many of my ancestors persevered through those difficult times. I've also discovered stories of overcoming challenges, finding strength, courage, hope, and faith. These stories have guided me through the unknown in my own caregiving journey. As I travel through life, I believe I can find peace as I navigate through the storms and survive the doldrums of caregiving with the attitude of moving forward steadfast. I continue my caregiving journey and embrace the ʻolelo noʻeau, or Hawaiian proverb, Kihe ka ihui ka ʻale. Mary Pukui translates this to mean one who sneezes when the spray from the surf rises at the bow of the canoe, and is said of one who braves danger with indifference. To me, it speaks of someone who resolves to face the unknown, knowing full well that challenges are coming and that the journey may be very difficult, and still chooses to continue the journey anyways and brave the uncharted waters. When providing care for Talil, I have and continue to journey into the unknown of meeting his needs with commitment, hope, positivity, and determination. I look, reflect, remember, and listen to the stories of those who have gone before. They motivate me to push on and maintain the attitude of Kihe ka ihui ka ʻale throughout my caregiving journey. O William Kaunohiokala Wallace e kahi ke kane. O Ellen Vahinehele la o Kaiona Makaiwi ka wahine. Noho pūlawa a hana mai o William Kaleimomi o Ho'olehua Wallace e lua ke kane. O John Edwin Broad ke kane. O Maggie Kennison ka wahine. Noho pūlawa a hana mai o Maggie Le Losivale Broad ka wahine. O William Kaleimomi o Ho'olehua Wallace e lua ke kane. O Maggie Le Losivale Broad ka wahine. Noho pūlawa a hana mai o William ka ua iwi ula o Kalani Wallace e kolu ke kane. O Ngarangi o Rehua Kaiaho Kereama ke kane. O Nora Tangiwai Timoti ka wahine. Noho pūlawa a hana mai o Kaiaho Ngarangi o Rehua Kereama ke kane. O George Murray Wilson ke kane. O Marion Creek ka wahine. Noho pūlawa a hana mai o Christina Letitia Wilson ka wahine. O Kaiaho Ngarangi o Rehua Kereama ke kane. O Christina Letitia Wilson ka wahine. Noho pūlawa a hana mai o Nihipora Tatiana Kereama ka wahine. O William ka ua iwi ula o Kalani Wallace e kolu ke kane. O Nihipora Tatiana Kereama ka wahine. Noho pūlawa a hana mai o Jerusha Nanea Puanani Wallace ka wahine. O wau o Jerusha Nanea Puanani Wallace.
A ka nae I kia manawa o Jerisha na nea puanani mga lei ko inoa.
My mo'oku'auhau, or genealogy I just shared, tells the story of my ancestry and establishes my positionality as a person who comes from multiple indigenous cultures. Within these cultures, knowledge has been passed down orally through stories for generations. Storytelling plays a vital role in educating others and relaying information about many things, including events, people, beliefs, and daily life. Establishing my positionality in this research is critical to helping others understand my point of view. When I think about my positionality, I think of how I view myself, where I am, and my relationships with those who have gone before, my ancestors. I am a product of many. I am a product of them. Because they were, I am. I was brought up hearing stories from my grandparents and parents. These stories entertained me. They taught me valuable lessons. They have influenced and continue to influence my beliefs and values. They guide me and help me make decisions. Through my caregiving journey, I have discovered that I learn best by listening, by observing, and by doing. That is why storytelling in all of its forms, whether through song, dance, letters, journals, and recollections, appeal to me and have become vital components in the data collection process for my study. Storytelling is the vehicle to help discover, understand, and relay my evolution as a caregiver. When I think about establishing my positionality in my research, I consider my relationship with myself, with my son Talil, and with others. I also consider my place within my family, within my community, in the world, and the universe. I identify as several things. I am a woman. I am a daughter. I am a granddaughter. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am an indigenous researcher. I am a spiritual provider and member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am an educator. Most importantly, I am one of my son Talil's primary caregivers. Together with my husband, I help meet his needs. For my study, I will be focusing on being a mother, spiritual provider, and educator to Talil. Growing up, I think I had this romanticized, unrealistic picture in my mind of what a mother would be like. I thought being a mother would be easy. My mom made the role seem effortless. She was caring, loving, patient, and kind. The most important thing she gave me was her time. If I had a problem, she was always there to listen, discuss, counsel, and teach me. It wasn't until I became a mother myself that I realized it wasn't so easy. I learned quickly that caring for another person and being responsible for their well-being would test me, change me, and shape me into the person I am today. Talil is my first child. My many experiences with him have had a significant influence on me. As a mother, I have a responsibility to provide for Talil's physical needs, including food, shelter, and clothing. I'm also responsible for providing for Talil's physiological needs, including feeling loved, accepted, finding a sense of belonging, learning to cope, and establishing a sense of self. I have other children to care for, and I need to find balance with the care I provide them all, even though Talil requires continuous support. Finding that balance has often been very difficult. There were and still are occasions where I have had to spend time away from my other children in order to be with Talil. For example, when he underwent surgeries or other procedures. I remember getting my first teaching position at Enchanted Lake Elementary School, 45 minutes drive away from our home. During that time, Taleo was in Shriners Hospital for Children. He had major surgery and was recovering for more than 9 months. After work on the weekdays, I would drive over to Honolulu to stay with him. On the weekends, my husband would switch places with me, and I would be at home with my other boys. I am so grateful for the love and support of our extended family during that time. In order to take care of Taleo, I had to learn things typical mothers would never have to know, like the following: how to insert a nasal gastrostomy tube when it comes out accidentally after it is caught on something, how to do range of motion activities to encourage movement, how to administer a tube feeding, how to replace dressings, empty and adhere a wound vac on Taleo's back, how to do CPR on someone who has spinal fusion, appropriate ways to lift and transfer Taleo, how to lift Taleo's wheelchair onto the back of a van or a truck alone when nobody was there to help me, how to walk with Taleo and 3 other young children around the community and continue my everyday tasks. The list goes on and on. Being a mother is not easy. Another part of establishing my position in my research is my role as a spiritual provider in Taleo's life. What does it mean to me to be a spiritual provider? It means that I help provide opportunities for Taleo to grow spiritually. It also means that I advise him and guide him as he discovers or realizes his place in our family, in our community, the world, and the universe, as well as his relationship with all things. Spirituality plays a significant role in my own life and in my upbringing. I believe that I have a responsibility to provide Taleo with spiritual guidance. Spirituality also includes religion. As I mentioned before, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Besides my upbringing and cultural beliefs, my religious membership has increasingly helped me evolve as a caregiver. When I reflect on my spiritual evolution, I recall the early years of my life where I listened to the stories of my parents and grandparents, and I believed the things that they said. I believed them simply because they said so. I relied heavily on their spiritual support, their spiritual strength, their faith, and their testimony. It felt safe, and I always felt supported. After marrying my husband, that began to change. We were forming a home and family of our own, where we could choose to pass down the beliefs and values we wanted to. As we had children, and Taleo was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a seizure disorder, and all of the multiple disabilities that he was diagnosed with, the teachings of my parents, grandparents, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints emphasize the great value, importance, and worth of Talio. Talio has always been precious to me. Over the almost 25 years of caring for him, my spirituality has brought me great peace. My spirituality has been a gift. It has become a necessity of mine, like food or water, something that I needed in order to survive. Because of my caregiving experiences with Talio, my faith and testimony have increased. Talio's diagnosis at 6 months old of cerebral palsy, a seizure disorder, and possible hearing and vision impairments made me lose hope. My dreams for him to live what I considered to be a typical life were shattered, and slowly, turning to my beliefs in family, I learned to cope and focus on the care he required to assist him. The night Talio suffered a stroke, I felt completely broken. While recovering in the neonatal intensive care unit almost a week later, my father-in-law shared that Talio actually died while in the emergency room at Kahuku Hospital. My father-in-law recounted how during the doctor's attempts to resuscitate Talio, he had bent down to whisper to Talio that he was going to take his name to the temple. Talio's heart began to beat on his own, and he was starting to breathe again. Talio and I have a very special connection. That spiritual experience and many more throughout his life when he was sick or going through one of his many surgeries, all of them have taught me that I need my Heavenly Father. I need my ancestors, and I rely on them. I found that I need to pray. I need to talk to my ancestors. I need to read my scriptures. I need to sing hymns. I need to attend church and listen to messages from church leaders. All of these things comfort me. They support me, and they make me feel better as if I am ready to face the unknown. What does it look like to be a spiritual provider for Talio? Well, our family includes him in daily rituals of prayer, scripture reading, attending church every Sunday, participating in church activities. We attend cultural events and also family devotionals, and we're always talking about spiritual experiences with him and around him. I also find guidance in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints proclamation of the family to give me guidance as my role as a mother and the importance of the family unit and the individuals within my family. I find hope in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints plan of happiness, especially the promise that because of Jesus Christ, there is life after death. Because of him, we will be resurrected and whole. This promise brings me peace. I know that no matter what, one day I will see Talio, and he will walk, he will talk, and he will be whole. My role as a spiritual provider is to share values and beliefs that have been important to my family. Another role I have is that of an educator. As an educator, I decide what is important for Talio to know. Before Talio was born, I had many dreams for him and felt he would live a typical life, have a typical childhood, attend preschool, elementary, intermediate, and high school, and go on a mission for our church, even attend college and get married and raise a family of his own. After Talio was diagnosed with cerebral palsy, a seizure disorder, and mild visual and hearing impairments, I felt as if my dreams for Talio were shattered. His education turned to learning developmental skills, and I was focused on helping him progress in his functional daily living skills of taking care of his own needs and becoming as independent at doing so as possible. I also wanted to focus on helping him communicate his needs and his wants. By the time Talio was 3 years old, he was learning to talk. He demonstrated that he understood what we said and responded appropriately to questions and comments. He could pull himself up to a sitting position, from lying flat on his back. He would roll or army crawl to get to places, and he could walk with the assistance of a walker. He could stand next to something with support. He was eating regular food, and he loved swimming in the swimming pool. If given an ukulele and when his papa was playing music, he would hold his ukulele close to him and he would strum and make noise as if he was singing. After Talio had a stroke, he regressed and all of the skills he acquired were lost. I was totally gutted. We had to start all over again, and this time we focused again on his functional daily living skills and communicating his wants, needs, and now his discomforts. My role as an educator changed at this point. I had to become educated myself. I needed to seek information that could help me take care of Talio. I decided to go back to school and get my master's degree in education with an emphasis in special education. Talio was in preschool when he suffered a stroke, and I wanted to make sure I knew all that I could to ensure that I understood what the teachers there had determined would be his individualized education plan. I did not feel like I was treated as a vital member of his educational team, and so I went to school to learn and later became a special education teacher myself. I have been blessed to be Talio's teacher at Kahuku High and intermediate school from his 8th grade year until he graduated. I enjoyed the opportunity to be with him throughout that time, to watch amazing people love him and care for him and serve him just like I did. The experiences I have had, my upbringing, my indigeneity, my caregiving roles of being a mother, spiritual provider, and educator of Talios establishes who I am in my research and has encouraged me to create the following research questions. What have been my aspirations for Talio's health and well-being? How have these aspirations shaped my decisions regarding his family life, his spiritual well-being, and his education? How have I evolved through the process of caring for Talio? What has been the nature of this evolution? How has my practice of personal reflection been an essential part of my journey with him? How might my practice of personal reflection inform other parents of children with multiple disabilities as they seek to navigate their own journeys? I have learned many things from Talio over the years. For instance, I've learned that I cannot care for him alone. I need to depend on my husband and my extended family. Raising Talio is a community effort. I've learned to have patience. I've also learned to persevere. I have learned to have faith. I can find peace even in the midst of chaos. This was actually something I had to choose to do. I had to make a conscious decision to look for and find peace so I could function as a parent and do what was best for Talio. I've learned that I can do hard things. I've realized that no one else was going to fight for my child. He could not do it for himself, so I had to become his advocate for everything that he needed. I learned to be sensitive to others in general, but especially to individuals with diagnosed disabilities that are similar to Talio. All of these things, storytelling, my roles, the research questions, and the things that I've learned from Talio over the years have assisted me in establishing my positionality in my research.